All right, this is the opening of with Michael Fox, not Michael J. Fox, but Michael Fox. Before the J comes in, this is Excelsior, the former Excelsior High School here in Norwalk, California. This is the Grease 2 was filmed here, Square Pegs, High School USA, Reformed Schoolgirls was filmed here. Just found out inside that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was that there's a scene here filmed in the back. The Bruce Lee fight scene with Brad Pitt was filmed here. Really cool, but I'm here to talk about High School USA. I love Grease 2. You'll see my Grease 2. I did an introduction video on that. I love it. I filmed all right here in the front. This is a great location. So the school closed in 1981, so they started doing productions here after the fact. The reason I want to talk about this, I'm wearing my Back to the Future shirt. This movie almost feels like, this is High School USA. It has Nancy McKeon and Michael J. Fox. They're the leads in the movie. He plays a character named J.J. Mathers, and you can almost tell this is like a Marty McFly type character. He just has he has a little bit of coolness. But he's not the popular kid. But he's not the nerd either. But he hangs out with a lot of guys in shop class that are kind of like the geeks. And one of those guys is Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover's in this movie.
Great Scott!
He's got a lot of scenes with Michael J. Fox. So this is 1983. This is before Back to the Future. So them working together, it's just really neat to see. And to me, like I said, it's just almost like a prequel in the sense of that you see these guys work together, you see the chemistry, and I know that the producers like Bob Gale and them had to look at this movie and go, that is our Marty McFly.
Great Scott!
Another cool tidbit on this movie, this is where Michael J. Fox and Nancy McKeon, Joe from Facts of Life, this is where they met and they started dating. They dated for like 2 years.
Who's president of the United States in 1985?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan, the actor?
So I saw this movie when it came out on TV, and I was I'm still a big Michael J. Fox fan, but I watched everything. Family Ties had just started when this came out. Had been out maybe about a season when this movie came out. But the cool thing about this movie was that it had a lot of the TV kid stars at the time. You had Willis, you had Todd Bridges, Dana Plato, Willis and Kimberly from Different Strokes. You had obviously Michael J. Fox from Family Ties, Nancy McKeon from Facts of Life, the girl from Give Me a Break, Crystal Bernard before she was in Wings, but she's in this. Anthony Edwards is in this movie, and he plays kind of like the bully. He plays the antagonist. He's the guy. He's preppy. He has got a full head of hair, and he's like a obnoxious guy. He's dating Nancy McKeon's character, and what makes this really extra cool is that they have a lot of former TV show people from the 50s and the 60s. So you have Tony Dow, Wally is the principal. So Michael J. Fox has a lot of good scenes with Tony Dow. There is Dwayne Hickman, so The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. You have Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island, which also has Gilligan, so he's got double representation on this movie. Just really neat. And now I'm at a great spot. You get to see the high school behind me. This is Grease 2. This is the opening, so they do a lot of dancing stuff. They had buses lined up at the front. But in the movie they have a Anthony Edwards character, the character's named Bo. He has a party at his house, and they have a huge cake. And it is a cake of the high school. And I'll show it to you, but it's mammoth, and he ends up getting his face plopped into the cake. But I just want to give you a good shot of what it looks like.
Maybe I should mess up your face, huh?
A few more trees at the time on the ground, same way with Grease 2. But on my other video with Grease 2, you could see they had a shopping center across the street, and there's times where you could see certain things. You could see outside the window where Tony Dow's playing the principal. You could see outside when he's talking It's either that one or that one, probably that one. Then you can see him talking to Michael J. Fox. You can see out the window, you can see a little bit of this in the background. All right, so I'm inside Excelsior High School. Obviously they have remodeled, so there's no lockers. Let's go down this way. No lockers this way, no lockers. It's been remodeled. This is like they do adult education here. There you go, there's the NLMAS. So let's kind of go down the hallway. But it's just neat to be inside the Grease 2 school, and then High School USA with Michael J. Fox has, this is, and I think these doors are probably, I remember, we got some outside scenes in High School USA that you see. And now there are some lockers, there we go, that are still left. That's neat. So just talked to one of the guys who kind of runs the place. He said, I was talking about how I was going to show you the inside the school in the hallways and how there's no lockers here. He said the lockers are still here. They're just behind this panel thing. And he says you can't, it's permanently kind of covered, but they're still here. So that's kind of cool that they actually have the original lockers on both sides. You see down the hallway here. Pretty neat.
JJ Manners is such a nothing. Did you hear how he spoke to me? He makes my skin crawl.
Okay, so we see Nancy McKeon and Dana Plato coming down, and they'll pass. You'll see this box. You see here, this door. There's another door here. They're kind of walking this way, and then we see Anthony Edwards is right there. And this is the class that go to science class. And then back over this way, you can see behind Nancy's talking to Anthony Edwards over here. But you can see a couple things in the background, but you see in it. But the classroom, Dwayne Hittman plays the science teacher, and he's talking about reproduction.
What were we discussing yesterday when the bell rang?
Reproduction.
Yes. We need to know certain things. Why we do it, how we do it, and do we leave the lights on?
Reproduction, which is funny because one of the best songs in Grease 2 was one of the best songs. There's so many good songs in Grease 2, but Reproduction was one of them, and it was facing this way because you see these windows looking out. They're having class in there, and so going into film is just not a good thing today, but it's inside. But that's inside is where it was in this area, and then that leads back into the main part of the high school. All right, one more scene here from High School USA. I think this was the Automotive shop scene. I think it's where we see at one point in time they close, the guy runs into this door from the inside, but this is where the shop scene was filmed. And then I probably most likely in that failed TV pilot TV movie that I was telling you about, Jerry Mathers is the shop teacher, and I think they probably filmed back inside that same building.
Job. I was framed on it when I think that stinks.
Yeah, Bo Middleton strikes again. He can get away with anything.
No, not this
More. I'm in front of Tehran's Bakery, and this was, I think it's Jay's Hot Dogs, Jay's something. There's a scene where Michael J. Fox, JJ's character, it's obviously set up a little differently. I'll show you the video, but they're getting food. It's obviously after school. We had Crispin Glover and some of his buddies from shop class over here. Todd Bridges' character was here with them, and Bo, Anthony Edwards' character, Middleton, comes out, and Michael J. Fox says, "Hey, Middleton, I want you," or something, and like going, he's challenging him.
Hey, Middleton,
What do you want? I'm in a hurry.
I want you.
And behind him, and he challenges him to a car race. And behind him, you can see this building. It had like Era's Bakery, I think, on that sign over there. And then you can read some other stuff. And there's a bakery. Maybe Era's Bakery was also in this part where it says Legout right here. I looked, and they weren't, they were no longer here, Era's, but Era's is still in existence in Los Angeles and here in Hollywood. And I just put in North Hollywood, and sure enough, it showed up an old location, and this popped up. And then going through like Street View, I was able to look. I was looking at this building behind here, and there's a building across the street that looked a lot like it, that you can see in the background, and it's been replaced with these nice apartments right here. But later in the movie, Nancy McKeon is working in a bakery, and it doesn't show the exterior.
Beth, can I talk to you for a minute?
I think it's done a little differently in here than it did in the 80s, but pretty cool.
Fine. What about that stupid car race? I mean, come on, what are you trying to prove?
But from through the windows, I noticed those windows that I just showed you over to the right here, and sure enough, I looked, and it's the same exact. So that's where Nancy McKeon worked in this movie, and he goes in and he's trying to get her attention. But I found both these locations last week, and it's just really cool to be able to come like a week later and see these locations in person. That's just pretty neat. If you know any of the locations for this movie, Crispin Glover's house, Bo's house, Nancy McKeon's house, which is Beth, her name's character Beth. If you know any of these things, please comment below, message me. Love to know. We'd love to do a better video on the film locations for this movie. Like I said, I feel like this is a prequel kind of, in some ways, to Back to the Future.
I think too much attention has made you stir crazy.
I know what I'm doing, Otto. I know what I'm doing.
Party slip for you, Miss Parker. And one for you, McFly. I believe that makes 4 in a row. You remind me of your father when he went here. He was a slacker, too.
Gosh, JJ, talk about your basic mission impossible. Arch, you owe me a favor, right?
Great Scott!
But thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please hit like, please comment below, and I'll catch you next episode of All Things Nancy with Garrett.